Behind the portraits, the pearls, and the power, behind the image of the mourning widow who ruled the world, lived a woman of contradictions. She was the Empress of India, the matriarch of Europe, and the symbol of an empire that never slept. Yet behind the palace walls, Queen Victoria carried secrets she never wanted the world to see. Welcome to Echoes of Empire, where we bring the forgotten stories of Britain's past back to life. The Victorians built their age on progress, morality, and empire. But beneath the surface lay obsession, scandal, and grief, the truths that Victoria herself fought to bury. This is the untold story of the queen who ruled a century and the secrets she tried to hide. It began in 1837. A shy, 18-year-old girl woke to find herself queen of the mightiest empire on earth. Victoria, barely out of childhood, suddenly carried the weight of nations. She was small, spirited, and determined not to be controlled. But the court around her was steeped in intrigue. Her uncles conspired for influence. Her mother's advisor, Sir John Conroy, tried to dominate her life. Victoria despised him, calling him a tyrant in silk. When she became queen, her first act was defiance. She banished him from court. Behind the velvet curtains, the battle for her independence had begun. It was the first secret of the crown, that Britain's new monarch was not the gentle girl in the portraits, but a woman learning how to rule with iron beneath her lace. Then came Albert, the handsome prince from Germany, brought to her by royal matchmakers. Their marriage was passionate, a partnership of intellect, art, and empire. Together, they transformed monarchy itself, from scandal to respectability, from luxury to duty. But Victoria's love for Albert bordered on worship. He was not just her husband. He was her master, her moral compass, her world. She wrote of him endlessly, clung to his advice in all things. "He is perfection," she said. "My existence is bound to his." Behind the curtain of royal harmony, Albert controlled almost everything. Her letters, her politics, her image. The queen who once fought for independence became a servant to love. It was her most beautiful secret and her most dangerous weakness. In December 1861, her world shattered. Prince Albert, her strength, her soul, fell ill with typhoid fever. Within days, he was gone. Victoria's screams echoed through Windsor's halls. She collapsed beside his bed and refused to let him go. The nation mourned, but the queen's grief became obsession. She dressed in black for the rest of her life. She ordered his rooms preserved exactly as he left them, towels, pens, razors untouched. Servants placed fresh water for him every morning, as if he still lived. Behind closed doors, the palace became a mausoleum. Ministers begged her to return to duty, but she withdrew from the world, ruling through letters and shadows. The people began to whisper, was the queen mad? Her sorrow turned the monarchy into mystery. For years, the British throne was ruled by a ghost. Then came the most controversial chapter of her life, her friendship with John Brown, a rugged Scottish servant from Balmoral. He was blunt, loyal, and fiercely protective, calling her woman instead of ma'am. He rode with her through the hills, dined with her privately, and argued with ministers in her defense. To the court, it was scandalous. To Victoria, it was salvation. Rumors spread like wildfire that the queen and her servant shared more than friendship. Pamphlets mocked her as Mrs. Brown. Letters between them were destroyed upon her death by royal command. To this day, no one truly knows the depth of their bond. But one thing is certain. In the shadow of Balmoral, the queen who ruled half the world found comfort not in princes or politicians, but in a man the court despised. As Britain's empire reached its height, so too did its cruelty. Victoria became Empress of India, though she never set foot there. Her name ruled over millions she would never meet. In her journals, she spoke of her Indian servants with warmth, particularly Abdul Karim, who arrived in 1887. He taught her Urdu, shared stories of India, and became her closest companion. Once again, scandal erupted. Ministers feared his influence. Courtiers mocked him, calling him the Munshi. But Victoria defended him fiercely, writing, "I am told he is low-born. What does that matter? He is loyal, and I trust him." When she died, her children ordered all their letters burned, every trace of their friendship erased. Only fragments survived, enough to remind us that even in her final years, the queen who symbolized empire was still defying it. For decades, Victoria's journals were locked away, edited and censored by her youngest daughter, Princess Beatrice. Thousands of pages were destroyed, rewritten, or hidden from the public. What did they contain? Historians can only guess. Private doubts about empire? Her fury toward her ministers? Her forbidden loves? The surviving fragments reveal glimpses of a woman both fragile and fierce, sentimental yet shrewd, devout yet daring. A woman who felt everything deeply but showed little to the world. The greatest secret of all was that Victoria was not a symbol. She was human. When Queen Victoria died in 1901, the world changed forever. Her empire spanned the globe, yet within her own family, scandal, rivalry, and tragedy brewed. Her descendants would rule Europe and then destroy it in 2 world wars. But before she died, Victoria made sure her image was sealed. The grieving widow, the moral matriarch, the mother of empire. She had rewritten her story. The forbidden chapters, her passions, her doubts, her defiance, were locked away. It was her final act of control. To the world, she would remain the perfect queen. Yet history whispers louder with time. Today, we see her not as marble and myth, but as a woman who lived, loved, and hid her truth from the crown she carried. So who was Queen Victoria? The grieving widow, or the secret rebel? The symbol of empire, or its prisoner? Behind the black dress and the crown was a woman of fire, one who defied her family, her ministers, and even her history. Her secrets still haunt Windsor's corridors, still linger in the royal archives. For every secret the queen tried to hide, there is another waiting to be found. This was Echoes of Empire. Subscribe for more untold stories from the heart of Britain's history.